heart of Bristol, Connecticut. The name Joe McGinn carries a legacy of resilience, passion, and an indomitable spirit. Each year, the Bristol Sports Hall of Fame presents a Joe McGinn Award to an individual who has overcome significant challenges, embodying the same unwavering determination that defined Joe's life.
Joe found out when he was 3 years old that he had a kidney disease. I didn't know Joey until we were about 10. And when I met him, I didn't know he had a disease, and it actually took a while. It was never about his disease. That's not how he lived his life. And so I found out probably a year after I met him that he actually had a disease, and that was pretty much kind of encapsulated him. That's how he wanted to live his life.
Despite his illness, Joe's love for sports never wavered. Whether it was basketball, golf, or baseball, he played with heart and skill.
He loved all sports. That was one of the things that we really shared in common, both watching. He wanted to be an announcer when he grew up, so we would do that in his room and announce NFL games on his system. But he also played a lot of sports. He played basketball, was golf, played baseball, and he was really skilled. He was smaller than everyone, but he was a very skilled player. I think that really impacted his high school career, and that he was able to continue to play golf despite all of his other challenges. But he never lost his love for sports. That was there from day one.
At Bristol Eastern High School, Joe wasn't just an athlete, he was a personality.
Joey went to Bristol Eastern, and he had an immense impact on the school. As I think back about it, he was the MC at almost every event we had. He was the prom king. He did a Michael Jackson routine at one of our formals where he sang Man in the Mirror. This was his personality. He was a very big personality. Everyone knew Joey and everyone liked Joey for him. And it was really never about the fact that he had a kidney disease. He just had a massive personality that really attracted people to him.
Joe's dream was to be a part of UConn basketball, and thanks to his determination and a promise from Coach Jim Calhoun, he made that dream a reality.
He met Coach Calhoun in 6th grade. And Coach Calhoun was at Northeastern University at the time. They got along really, really well. And Coach Calhoun, when Joey was in high school, promised him that he could get him into Northeastern. Northeastern had a special program for kids with special needs or people in certain specific situations. And Coach Calhoun got Joey in the program and basically said, if you commit to getting a 3.5 or over, at this point, Coach Calhoun was now the coach of UConn. If you get a 3.5 or over at Northeastern, I will get you to UConn next year. And Joey did that, and then he became a manager at UConn once he got there. So again, just kind of a testament to his willingness to invest in his education and really Coach Calhoun's willingness to invest in a child that he met 6 or 7 years prior.
Tragically, Joe passed away during UConn's historic 1999 NCAA tournament run. His loss was deeply felt.
During the NCAA tournament in '99, Joey passed, and the team, UConn, was out on the West Coast. It just so happened. And when they heard of his passing, I think the team, and not only the coaches but the players, were devastated. They set up a mass for him at the Air Force Academy right after it happened. There were a lot of stories in the newspaper about Joey, his impact on the team, the players, the coaches, and it propelled them into really getting into their first Final Four in the history of Connecticut.
Some moments in sports go beyond the game itself. They become symbols of perseverance, friendship, and remembrance. UConn's 1999 national championship was one of those moments.
Yeah, and in 1999, UConn went to their first Final Four, got to the championship game, played against Duke, which was considered unbeatable. UConn was a 9 or a 10-point underdog, and again, first time ever there. Part of the process is cutting down the nets. That's a big thing for basketball teams when they win a championship. They get to cut down the nets. The coach is typically the last person to cut down the nets. And as he walked up, he tells the story. He thought about his parents, he thought about his wife, and he thought about Joey McGinn. And this was, again, about 20 days after Joey passed. And instead of taking the last piece or the last string of the net down, he left it up there, and he said to himself, Joey, this is for you, which was just an incredible testament for someone who had been waiting their whole career to win a national championship, had all the pressure of the state and himself, and he's thinking about Joey at that particular time. Again, just is an amazing testament to their friendship and the impact that Joey had on the UConn community and Coach Calhoun himself.
In honor of Joe's incredible spirit, the Bristol Sports Hall of Fame created the Joe McGinn Award, given annually to someone who has overcome significant challenges. This award keeps Joe's legacy alive, inspiring others to push forward despite adversity. Joe McGinn's story reminds us that strength isn't measured by physical ability, but by heart, humor, and an unbreakable will. His legacy lives on through this award and through the lives he touched.